Bible. Grow up. It's in the Bible.
Okay, you do not
Yeah, I
run
think he just.
stream, you little boy. Okay, just pipe it down, and we're not going to talk about the pedophilia stuff now. Okay, can we welcome Darth? Can we welcome Kevin and Jason? Like, nobody else has had a chance to speak.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's just sick of it.
I would like to kind of switch gears with Darth here, actually. So Messenger reveals has a bone to pick with Darth, and he says something about becoming like Jesus the firstborn. So, Darth, did you and him have like a nasty experience or something in your interaction? Is this why he's salty toward you, or do you think
I have no idea who that is, and I am the subject of nonstop idiot trolls on, here on YouTube, Discord, Clubhouse. They're a dime a dozen. They're what I call drive-by keyboard warriors who have band-aids on their fingertips to keep the keyboard unstained from the blood on their fingertips.
Oh my.
98 to 99% of these drive-by keyboard warriors don't have the balls to come on and face me with their criticism.
Drive-by keyboard warriors. I like that.
Your fingers
don't forget the band-aids on the fingertips.
Their fingers are bloody from typing so much ad homs and angry, retorts.
They found a way on their 1984 clickety keyboard that they're actually, doing something substantive.
But Darth, I have
you want to criticize me? Grow a pair and do it to my face where I can talk back.
Yeah. What the fuck? Who can do that?
Gray-haired bastard. There.
Well, on here, obviously. If we can come in here. So it looks like he's not a fan of you. I know Messenger because I've been around him for about 2 or 3 years. He's been on and off, but I mean,
this is just further proof that he just has a hate boner. Maybe he should go in for some therapy.
So I have I have 2 announcements for you, Darth. We have 2 debates here set up for the 7th and the 8th. 2 atheists on Facebook that I checked them out. They never had any interactions with you. One's a PhD. So I'm going to put about on the screen. You can read the email.
Well, don't you remember the last PhD you set up for me to talk to?
Oh, with Kenny, yeah. No, this is an atheist though, so I think he'll have more class than Kenny.
Yeah, right. You've no class at all, Praise.
What is this person's name?
His name's Tony Montana. Is that someone that you're familiar with, or?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
From Scarface?
What time frame?
So this would take place, let's see here. The 8th. It'd be the 8th between 8 and 9 Eastern. Somewhere around there.
Between 8 and 9 Eastern. On the 8th. So that would be what, Saturday?
Yeah. Let me make sure I get the right one.
Okay, I'll try to make that, yeah.
Okay, no, it's actually
I hope it's not a repeat of the psychotic implosion of Kenny.
No, this guy's an atheist.
You lied about him. You strawmanned him. If he's told you he's read some books, why not assume that he's telling the truth and just discuss it with him? I watched that discussion. What a pile of garbage.
He's a PhD. I'll read the email to you. So he goes, Kenvo Roy.
I'm no longer impressed by that. I've already dialogued with 8 atheists with PhDs, and they all folded.
Oh, yeah. I'm expecting the fold here, too. But he says, I saw a post on Facebook calling the atheist debate Darth. Well, I would relish that opportunity to debate him. I have I'm sorry. He has no PhD. I thought okay, never mind. That's my bad. But I think I would be a formidable opponent, unlike the usual contenders.
Well, I'm just going to ask you one thing. That you're going to have to be more stringent than you have been in the past and not allow, the trolling. I mean, what you let Skylar Friction get away with was not right.
Yeah, I was trying to be.
You were talking over him, Darth. It was obvious. Hypocrite.
Charitable to the other side, Darth, because I know you can handle it. You're tough. You're thick skinned there, and I know you
Praise,
can handle a lot.
Skylar Friction has a long history of being a totally obnoxious moron in dealing with certain people. It's his shtick. Does that mean he's that way for everybody? No. If he feels that he's intellectually challenged, that's when he pulls out the trolling, which is exactly what he did and what he's always done.
Exactly what Praise did to me last night on his video, where he's like all of a sudden doing memes and shit when I'm speaking the truth. And yeah, Praise, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You're
no,
fraud,
man. You came at the very end of the stream. I didn't want to go.
You came at the very end of the stream. You and your excuses are
you were
bullshit.
just being a contrarian to LPG.
No, I was just coming and preaching the truth, and you hate the truth, bro.
Dude, you're a heretic with a false gospel. This is Praise's channel.
Gosh,
Shut up.
grow up.
Oh my
guys.
God! Do you hear yourself, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get lost.
Go and
You're a woman.
himself on his own.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
What does he believe? What the guy that just went before? What does he believe?
He believes
I want some Habevo proselytes.
Habevo. So now Messenger says trying to control you because he's insecure. So why are you psychoanalyzing me, Messenger? Come on, man. I know you are a psychologist.
Hold on. You did that for 5 hours on Darth Dawkins, you hypocrite. The amount of trouble you caused on Clubhouse for other Christians, you piece of garbage. Darth blocking them all because of what you started.
That's what really seriously did. Yeah, come on here, Messenger. I'd like for you to voice your disagreements to Darth, and maybe he can respond to it. I'd just like to see why you have an issue with Darth. The link is pinned. I think the link's pinned. Let me make sure really quick.
I would wonder why you don't sometimes, Craig.
What's Darth Vader all about? I don't know. What are his basic points?
He's referring to me, evolution false. My main.
I know, but what are your basic points? Is it in line with our points?
I don't know what your position is, sir.
This will be good. Yeah, you need to talk to Numi, Darth, for just a few minutes.
Schedule me in next for a debate. I would love to.
He's an expert. Numi's an expert at this.
Aren't you a theist, Numi? Like, why would you want to debate Darth?
What's a theist?
Someone who believes in a deity.
I'm a theist.
You're an atheist?
No, I'm atheist.
Oh, I got you. That was a good play on words.
Well, to be able to debate this guy, he'll say anything. He's an atheist. Go ahead.
You take that a couple of different ways.
You're atheist. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm serious. I'll take you on, Darth Vader. I don't.
Oh, I bet you will.
I'm a Jedi. You don't.
I want to see this. Give him 5 minutes, Praise. I'll yield 5 minutes to these two. Let's see what happens.
Do I have the floor?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and see.
Yeah, let's see how long you last.
Present your argument.
Okay, my argument tonight is well, first I got to know what this guy's all about, and then I could rebut it. Right? It's not fair because
he's a Christian. Come on, he believes in God. He believes that everything is centered around God. That the belief system, even in metaphysics, your philosophy would start with God rather than science. Is that something you disagree with?
No, so this is not a debate. We're in agreement with each other.
No, I know. I mean, come on, man. You knew that anyway.
No, honestly, I don't know this guy. It's the first time I've met this guy. I didn't know. I don't join your chat. This is the first time, man. Right?
First time for everything. Well, now you know.
He's
getting his Bibles tomorrow. I'll straighten him out.
Good, man.
I'm gonna get.
He's in line with his beliefs with all of us.
I'm gonna rope Newbie in the Habevo cult.
I think, okay, this is where I would debate him. I think that science and religion are related. Why do I say that? Because I think science is made by God, not by man. Science is our understanding of what God intended. You understand?
So there's Matt Dillahunty's new lover. Just letting you guys.
Praise, there are far worse and vomit-worthy images that have been publicly posted by that dude.
Yeah.
But out of respect for you, I didn't share them with you.
Okay.
Because I know how you enjoy keeping your delicious dinner down once you've eaten.
I appreciate that, actually.
Speaking of Matt Dillahunty, who, you know, has that affinity, I've heard just recent rumors that he left the Atheist Church of Austin.
Oh, he did. Interesting.
Well, I said it. I said it's a rumor. I got it from another atheist, and I said, "Oh, well, why is that?" And he goes, "Well, I don't know yet." I don't know. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think he's losing his luster lately. I don't think he's as like he used to be. He used to have a huge following of people, of retards that followed him. I think he's like less popular or something. Like his arguments are getting old.
Well,
but Praise, you've got retards following you, like Olive and Sparrow.
And when you have to, you know, pick up a young male homosexual transvestite, that's pretty desperate, you know.
Yeah. So the challenge is out. Whoops, I'm trying to make this a banner. Hold on. Come in and challenge Darth, atheists, or any theists out there that is an evidentialist or anything.
Darth, are you KJV only, Darth?
No, sir.
I was just wondering. I don't really know your whole.
Well, there's something to debate, right?
I have a deep respect and an admiration for the work that the King James Bible translators did, but I don't hold to the exclusivity of the King James.
So what do you read then?
What do I read? The New American Standard, and I'm currently using on my phone the Legacy Standard Bible, which is an update to the New American Standard.
Okay, so I use a Gideon's Bible, okay, and this guy News Unit, he's on my case about.
You don't use anything.
You see, there he goes again.
I got you some Bibles coming tomorrow. Well, they're already there. You just got to pick them up.
He's strict, like you know, he's kind of like an extremist. It's either
I am an extremist. Yes, in the extremist sort of the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go to KJV.
He discriminates against everything else.
I do.
Hey, Paul, come on in, Paul. Have a discussion with Darth. Yeah.
I'm very discriminatory.
Let's see you
I'm a
voice your
bigot.
disagreement.
Just think how much money Johnson. Just think how much money Johnson & Johnson makes with all those little, you know, fingertip band-aids they sell for the keyboard warriors.
They use them for their thumbs, not their fingers.
Billions.
No, it's for the fingertips because all of that clickety-clacketing, you know, your fingers get all
that way, yeah.
and bloody after a while.
I was thinking on their phones with their thumbs.
Luke, I am your father.
No, he didn't say that. He said, "No, I am your father."
Let's wait till Numi does his unboxing tomorrow, and then he.
But that's an understandable mistake that people make.
There's
Is
Professor
that Dr. Kenny with long hair?
No, that's Darth.
Oh,
That's
is
Professor Darth.
It almost looks like Dr. Kenny.
That was before my facial plastics reconstructive surgery.
Are you related to Dr. Kenny with 3 PhDs?
Dr. Kenny. He certainly didn't come across as your buddy
No, that picture the picture to me looked like Dr. Kenny.
Gavin, I showed up to give a rebuke to Johnny Hawes for being a sleazebag by winking at those who want to publicly slander and defame me and giving them the right hand of fellowship. And when I was telling this to him, Gavin decided that he was going to summarily eject me back to the audience. And Johnny objected, said, "No, let Darth finish."
Wow. And
then Gavin became unhinged and said I was an enemy of Christianity. I said, "That's funny." I said, "You've been quite cordial with me up until about a week and a half ago, when I blocked you for being in a cooperative platform with James is Tired."
What a surprise!
So
Now you're
it's
seeing
amazing
that.
how
Yeah.
it's amazing how Gavin goes from being chummy and buddy with me up just till about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago tops, and then when I block him for cozying up to the slanders and the defamers, all of a sudden he turns on me and says that I'm an enemy of the cross. It's just bizarre.
It is, man. And see, I got caught up in this, Darth, and I seen my error, and I apologize, and I think we're on good terms, hopefully. But you can see now this mentality where I was involved in. You can see it now.
Yeah, I would just ask you. I mean, I don't care about the past, but
yeah, Praise, you caused all of that, you piece of dirt. You hypocrite.
I would just ask you that when I have a dialogue with people, I'm looking for a serious interaction. And I understand that nobody perfectly conducts themselves. I don't, nobody does. But there are people out there that deploy the heckler's veto and the prevaricator's veto. And Skylar was doing that last night. He was playing both cards, and you can't let these people do that, because unless you have decent moderation, the people who deploy the heckler's veto and the prevaricator's veto.
What I mean by decent moderation is that you don't want somebody interrupting you while you're interrupting them.
Will win there, because you can't defeat it without moderation.
Right. I just wanted to show I was neutral, but you still, you dominated Skylar. You made him look like a fool, man. Like you did really well.
No, he's an look. He's another one of these trans teenagers. He's a teenager trapped in an adult body.
Can someone leave and let Paul in here, because I would love for him and Darth to have a good interaction here. I know Paul; he's from England, and he's been cordial in the past. I think he might be a good interlocutor for you, Darth. So
I ask truncated questions.
Yeah.
I ask truncated questions, and it's extremely common that people prevaricate. Okay.
Someone Olive left, so come on in, Paul. We'll let you in here, and we'll have a discussion. We'll strike up this discussion here. It should be pretty good.
It's good to moderate, right? But at the same time, open forums are nice too. Like the news unit, his channel is open forum.
My channel.
I usually hang out there.
Exactly. That's what I predicate my channel onto, letting people voice their positions. But mind you that since this is an open forum, if you can have criticism put back on you too.
Negated one wants me to give an impression of James is Tired.
It's pretty awesome. Listen, people, look how good
this
is going.
I mean, do we really want to go there? I mean, I'm the kind of guy that, I like to get a cup of coffee and, talk with people. I'm not this kind of in-your-face person that, slanders and defames people and calls them racist. I'm just the kind of guy that likes to have a cup of coffee with people.
That is so spot on.
All right, 2 strikes.
Oh, it's Jay. Hey, people. My people.
Yeah, I got a quick question. Are there a bunch of atheists that are just standing in line to argue with Darth? Is that how that works?
Yep.
Is that what this next guy is coming?
Yeah, Paul. So Paul, I've known Paul for a while. I think it'll be a good discussion anyway. I like to say hi to him anyway, just to talk to him, see what's going on with him.
Hey, Darth, when these atheists come in, do you answer them all the time, or do you sometimes not answer them?
If they're asking me a question that is facilitating their dodging, then I don't need to answer that. Okay. If they're asking a question in good faith, that's not a dodge tactic from one of my questions, then fine. Yeah, I answer questions.
I was just wondering how that goes down because I've seen your name up a lot lately, and I was just curious what the affection is for atheists.
Yeah,
So,
what
James,
they will do is they'll dodge the question because I frequently ask questions that are dichotomous in nature, and they realize that if they select either pole of the dichotomy, that they're in trouble. So rather than answer the question, they will either just monologue pretending they're doing that, or they'll just ask a question. And then when I point out that they're not answering the question, and then they say, well, you're not the one answering the question. It's just, this is just trans teenagerism.
James, no, we weren't talking about you. We were just saying an impression of you. And it's not disrespectful. It was something that you should laugh at. It's in good humor, man. He's not like
it's hysterical. Somebody who pretends to be an online evangelist that would suck up to and grovel the measly little crumbs, the defamatory, slanderous crumbs of Tom Rabbit, and saying that Tom Rabbit is actually promoting Christianity by his slanderous and defamatory remarks. I mean, it doesn't get more psychotic than that.
Oh, are you kidding? See, Tom Rabbit had a discussion with Praise and asked him quite a few questions. All of Praise's answers are his doing. He's been talking nasty about you. So you despise Tom Rabbit, but not the person who answered all his questions like an idiot. Praise is the one who is at the root of all that stuff going on Clubhouse, the problems you're having. Not interested in James is tired. I mean, treating a discussion with you like some sort of inquisition. Yeah, I'm not impressed with that.
Although I did laugh, you have 2 strikes with me, Darth. I am a King James onlyist, and I am a dear friend of James is tired.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but maybe we could just, grab a cup of coffee and talk about things, okay?
So that was the guy.
I'm laughing with you, not at.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But you got 2 strikes with me, Darth.
I got 2 what?
You got 2 strikes with me.
Yeah, you got it. You fix your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He says you have 2 strikes.
You have 2. Yeah, you have 2 strikes, and I know you'll be shattered if you get the third one. You won't be able to go on. You'll be crippled. I know, forever.
This guy's King James only.
Sleep well tonight.
How do you define what that is when you say you're King James only? What does that mean to you?
I am King James only. These other Bibles are New World Order translated. They're bastardizations of the Bible.
So I'm Habevo.
Yeah, that's like a Constance Cumby accusation.
I'm Holy Bible Authorized Version only. So I guess that's similar. I'm just another.
If you're King James only, which version of the King James do you only go by?
Well, I'm not concerned with which version, as long as it's not the new King James.
Sir, what you need to understand is that there are multiple iterations, publications early on after the King James was issued, because they made a number of corrections in every time that they republished it within the first early years. So when you say King James only, well, which one? Because there are different iterations of it.
You can take any Bible, King James on it, as long as it's not the new King James, and I'll be fine with you. I'll be fine with the Geneva Bible.
Notice that you didn't answer the question.
What if it's World Publishing Company, Oxford, Cambridge?
With most King James onlyers is they really don't understand the issue. They think they do, but they don't.
Well, I know the difference between the word son and servant, and that's a problem with all these modern Bibles.
Okay, sir.
That's my issue.
Have you read anything at all dealing with the issue of what is called textual criticism?
Absolutely right, man. I've read Westcott and Hort. I've read the analysis. I've read the revision revised, and sir, there's a difference between the word son and servant.
What is textual criticism?
Textual criticism is taking the Alexandrian text type and placing a preponderance. It's superior.
No, sir, that is incorrect.
Yes. Okay,
That
you
is
explain
incorrect.
it. You explain it and how we can justify the words son and servant being changed.
Sir, you just failed the question. That's not what textual criticism is. That you just explicated what you think it is, but that is not what textual criticism is. Textual criticism is the discipline of studying the various manuscripts and delineating what, if any, there are family types of text types that are descendant from each other, okay? And then the work of the textual critic is to look at the textual variants to see which reading is best reflects what was in the original when there are scribal mistakes. Even the King James Bible translators themselves textual criticism?
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Okay, well then you need to be against the King James Bible then, because the King James Bible translators practice what is called textual criticism. They weren't working off of one Greek manuscript. They were working after a multiple of manuscripts, okay? None of which 100% agreed in all instances, where there were even textual variants among the Greek manuscripts that they used to translate the King James Bible. So that answer shows me you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Darth, if I were to say pro-choice means I think that you have the right to choose, you can carry a gun around, would I say, like, are you against being pro-choice?
So, look, I'm not going to debate it further. You just demonstrated you don't know what you're talking about, because the King James Bible translators exercised textual criticism when they picked and chose certain textual variants that they felt was a better representative of the original text type.
I'll bet you Darth read this book, didn't you, Darth?
Stick it in your pipe and smoke it, Dave.
I know you knew. We did the debate. We did a debate before.
In fact, I have that book.
So they picked what they believe was the best, like you said, representation of the original text, what they believed, and they were criticizing each other's work and looking at each other's work and looking for mistakes.
Criticism doesn't mean that there's this negative, derogatory, or
no, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's an art and a science where you compare various manuscripts, and you don't look. Some people are under the impression that you count which textual variant is mostly represented in the manuscripts. Well, that's bogus, because sometimes you can't go by counting, because when you move on in time, as the Greek manuscripts proliferated century after century, there were certain families of text type that developed, and we can clearly see this. And so that there would be, therefore, certain textual variants would get multiplied in number due to the fact that the family of the text type would copy it over and over again. So yes, we do need to look at all the manuscripts, but we also need to weigh the manuscripts, okay, by a number of criteria. But you see, King James only translators don't understand. Excuse me, the King James onlyists don't understand this.
I got a quick question for Kevin. Kevin, what triggered you when I held that book up and asked Darth if he read it? Was that like something that bothered you? Or?
That was
I held that book up, God's Secretaries, and I asked you if you've ever read it. I said you probably have this.
I have that. I perused through it, but I cannot say that I've page by page.
I figured you had it. I figured that, and then Kevin got a little triggered by that. I think did that bother you, Kevin? That I held that book up and asked Darth about it, or what? No comment. Okay. Thanks, Darth. Appreciate that.
How about my book? What do you know about my book, Darth Vader?
You don't know nothing about it. Just sit still.
Darth Vader.
This is my book.
I find
got
it
this at a thrift store.
disturbing.
Is that Godless Woman or whatever her name is?
I'm gouging my eyes out now.
No, that is
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm gouging my eyes out.
Matt Dillahunty's homosexual transvestite.
Hey, are you sure that's the same
That's
picture?
not,
Like
that's not a joke.
Yes.
That's not a joke.
That's a
He had
man, baby.
face.
I know who this is. That's
Yeah, I
Jack
believe ya.
77's girlfriend.
Who the hell is this?
That's him.
Hey, Praise, I wish I could put a photo up in the side chat. Can I actually do that? No, they don't let me do that, do
Before, after.
Oh, no
Before,
way.
Oh, okay.
after.
Get out of here.
Before.
You gotta be
after.
kidding.
By the
You
way,
see now?
there are far more explicit pictures that are.
Now you talk about a translation. There you go. There it
Wow,
is.
why are you guys over talking? Wow.
What's going on?
Darth, you're not important to everybody. What is amazing that an American there, numismatic, he has a book. Oh.
Why are you guys over talking?
What's this childish mocking?
Someone's coming at Darth.
Yeah,
Who's
what's
that?
that childish ass shit?
Who was that?
You talk about a translation, Praise. That's a translation right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll
That's a-
propose a new one because
That's a transformer.
He wanted to
Yeah.
redefine King James only. So I'll
We
propose.
went from talking about translations to Matt Dillahunty's
You know what's
translation.
childish? You know what's childish is you claiming to know God, but then you also still sin. In all reality, you're being a little kid, and you're being very arrogant to claim that, oh, I know God. Your opinion
Romans
means
7.
shit to me.
Romans
You
7.
literally are
Don't say we're
claiming to
fucking
know
liars.
God.
The Bible says.
Romans
no.
7, dum-dum. Romans 7.
Yeah, 1 John 1:7. He cleanses me from all sin.
First
If I
John 1:9, dummy.
No, that's all unrighteousness, you dummy. All sin is 1 John 1:7. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, literally, I
Hey, Praise.
used to be a sinner. I used to be a sinner,
Praise.
but Jesus did. He cleansed me from
What
all
I-
You're
sin.
ashamed of yourself, Cardinal guy. Go fuck
What
yourself.
I just posted in the side chat, don't
I
post that in
Numi.
the
I remember Numi. Yes,
in the live
dude,
chat.
I missed you, Numi. What
I
happened?
miss you too, man. I
Dude,
love
none of
you so
y'all
much.
can even hold my
it's
jaw
because you
strap
gave me
when
the
it
wrong
comes to truth.
impression,
You're a
man.
bunch of fucking jokes.
Why are you tolerating this dumpster fire?
I'm not.
What's my
I'm laughing
justifier?
at him.
Yeah, get him out of here. If you don't fucking sin, you don't need a fucking savior.
Check
That's
out this
it.
shirt. Praise.
Exactly.
You like the shirt?
I do,
That's
Numi.
badass, eh?
That is badass.
But yeah, I got you all wrong, man. I thought you were hanging out with Smoke.
For he hath a t-shirt. Oh.
You're kind of freaking me out.
I was hoodwinked. Even
I'm glad,
Darth
I'm
says,
glad
"Why do you hang out?"
snapped out of it. I am glad.
Remember, Praise, do you remember when Smokey tried to pretend that when he was quote unquote in seminary, that he was and when I said to him, I said, "Did you buy these books?" And he goes, "No, I read them in the library."
Yeah. Yep. He just
First of all,
backpedaled.
Van
Like,
is not an easy read. Okay.
no.
Claiming that he read half or a majority of his books in the seminary. I mean, this does not pass the smell test. Okay. I could tell right away by asking him some basic questions, like when I questioned him about the nature of autonomous reasoning. He had no clue how to express the Van Tillian notion of autonomous reasoning, yet he claimed he was adept in understanding Van Til. He didn't. When he first started attacking Van Til, he was reading in a glorious fashion from Dan Story's book, which is a gross misrepresentation, a popular book on apologetics, which is a gross caricature and misrepresentation of Van Tillian thought. And then he finds some paper online and he refers to the title of a Van Til work, which was the name of an unpublished syllabus rather than the actual printed work, which tells me that he probably did not read this. You know, he didn't. The actual title of the published work was A Survey of a Christian Epistemology, right? And he got the title from the footnote of a paper that was criticizing Van Til, not from his personal studying Van Til. See, Smokey's not old enough, okay? If he had actually read the work, it would have been the published work, A Survey of a Christian Epistemology, not the title that he gave it in, because he didn't read it. He just remembered the title of the unpublished seminary syllabus that was referenced in the paper that was critical of Van Til, but he lied about it.
What's even worse, though, is his pastor. We all know Kenny Rhodes is his pastor. He says he watched and listened to thousands of hours of Van Til. What's worse?
That's a lie. Kenny couldn't even answer a few basic questions about Van Tilian presuppositionalism when I questioned him. That's why he descended into just psychotic trolling.
No,
yeah. And then he went in, well, I don't like you, Darth, because I just don't like you in the past. Like, he actually tried to invoke that card.
Okay.
I thought that was
all right.
so
Hey, praise. You have a moderator, Hillary's emails, that is being absolutely vile. Okay.
Yeah, Hillary, like, what are you doing?
That you allow this person to be a mod?
As far as
really?
I know, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with that one. Hold on, let me just see here really quick.
It's his channel. It's Praise's channel, not yours, Darth. I don't like to steal. Well, is it steal, man? White Knight, if you can call it that, for a pig. But it is his channel.
I'll take it away.
As far as I remember, Hillary's emails is a mod. Okay, I mean, look at this crap.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, Hillary. Like,
until you dress up like a woman to debate an antinomian.
Yeah, who else has freaking moderatorship now? I don't remember Hillary having that. That's weird.
Okay.
I got to clean house here. I got to get rid of some people. I have a whole
lot
of wrenches out there.
A while back, it was because a good number of even your moderators were gratuitously attacking me. And when I say gratuitous attack, these were not substantive disagreements. These were gratuitous attacks, and these were your mods in the text chat doing this. There was at least 4 or 5 of them doing it.
What in the frick?
I'm a big boy. I can handle substantive disagreement.
Yeah.
So I don't see Hillary. What did he say? Because I got him on my channel. He never does anything bad.
Well, I haven't seen him do anything bad.
I don't see him have a wrench on my channel. Why is GY6 have a wrench?
This is very disturbing. You really need to discipline this person. Not only should you remove their mods, if they persist in this type of lying and gaslighting, you shouldn't allow them to.
I'm just going back up the thread. I'm trying to figure out what in the heck is going on here, because I haven't been watching the chat at all.
Yeah, I don't see Hillary, so someone must have removed it. I'm looking right now at the.
I see Hillary.
I'm not.
Sorry.
The last
No, I mean,
is that Hillary said he made oatmeal with peanut butter and chocolate chips. Iger said, "What are y'all talking about tonight?" I was saying tofu back to Bond, and then he was telling Iger to get in, and then Iger was
listen to me. Check out Hillary's emails at 1:49 a.m. in the comments within the YouTube stream. Okay.
Because mine's not timestamped, so I don't know how to.
Okay, it should be time-stamped in the comments section in the StreamYard page. Click on where it says comments, go to 149, Hillary's email.
It must have
you
hit.
can go on the StreamYard side of it.
Yeah, if you look at the comments.
Version, and I don't see time.
Okay, well, do you have the comments selected rather than private chat?
Yes, I have comments, and the last thing from Hillary that I see is when I go all the way up.
So Olive, if you're on your phone, it doesn't show you the time they made the comment, but if you're on a computer, the time the comment was posted is next to it.
What time is the time again?
You need to take action against this pig.
But
Darth, what comment are you talking? I don't see what you're talking about.
Is it this? Is this comment here? I made
It says go on and speak with Darth. Then there's the @ sign followed by capital IGER TV.
That's Iger's name.
That's Iger. Iger. He's telling Iger to go.
That's a guy that's a flat earther.
Yeah, he's a flat earther.
He was just asking him to go talk to you or whatever.
Talk to you.
Yeah, that's Iger.
He wasn't making any derogatory.
Wasn't a replacement for the letter.
Oh, yeah, there. Yeah, Hillary's fine.
Oh, I see what Darth is saying. Okay, since Darth he doesn't know Iger, so he thought Hillary meant the N-word, right? Is that what you thought, Darth?
Well, people usually replace letters with symbols.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. No, that's.
And Hillary has a history of making scurrilous and defamatory statements about me.
What? I know Hillary.
I've never seen.
Never.
All right, I'm not going to waste my time with.
Yeah. So do praise Olive and Sparrow. Darth, you hypocrite. You skanky piece of garbage.
That waste of flesh.
Well, I know for sure that Hillary would never do that.
So we have no atheists.
It was just a misunderstanding there, Hillary. It's okay. We're all gonna move on now. Hope everyone's having a good evening.
Right. Where the heck did Paul go? And here's Iger. What's up, Iger? Good to see you, man. You caused a lot of ruckus tonight already.
I heard y'all were talking about me, man. Anyway,
with your
Hillary,
flat Earth.
That's his name. Oh, man. Yeah. Hillary sent me in here to.
I know Iger. He's a little bit crazy, but he's harmless.
Yeah. No, good to see y'all. I hope everybody's doing good. Darth Dawkins, nice to meet you. I don't think I ever been on a stream with you before. But I think the Earth is about 5 years ago. I became a geocentrist. And,
here we go with the craziness. Are you guys ready? Here it comes.
Yeah. So I became a flat earther, geocentrist. New world order, one world government. People, the Illuminati, the synagogue of Satan. They're trying to enslave you and so on. And they've been lying to us for centuries. Evolution, some Masonic lie. Darwin. That's a high-ranking Freemason. And also I became a young Earth creationist, so I kind of wanted to ask Darth Dawkins because I don't know who you are. So,
what's your?
I heard you guys mention his name a bunch of times, but I don't.
What is your screen name?
Huh?
His name is Iger, the guy that you thought.
Yeah. Well, if you're identifying as a flat earther, I don't talk with flat earthers.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's harmless though. He's funny. I know he's crazy, right?
Okay. Well, he may be.
But do you remember me, Iger? Do you remember me?
I remember.
You spent like 6 hours with me, and then I just started laughing, and I'm like, I don't believe any of this shit you're telling me, man.
Oh no, actually, know me.
Oh, looks like you can't get any atheists in here, Praise.
I know. We're waiting for Paul. I think Paul's just taking a long time.
Oh,
what about the younger Earth,
Darth? You made my night tonight, guys. I love you guys, all of you, and this guy too, Darth. Honestly, I thought I could debate you, but I would love to catch a coffee with you or something, man. You seem like a really cool guy.
Yeah. I like getting cups of coffee. Where we can have kind of like a Vulcan mind meld, but as long as it's over coffee, okay?
Oh, man. You guys are the best.
I feel
Numi's in his element.
Me and Numi talked for a long time, but I felt like we agreed.
Oh, by the way, Praise is getting all righteous about Smokey and all that stuff. J. Patrick says that Praise took a $300 bribe from Smokey. Praise actually admitted on Kenny's stream, I think it was Kenny, that he took a $200 bribe, which I've got a screenshot of. So for Praise to start getting all righteous about Smokey, he was taking bribes off Smokey before the whole thing kicked off, sort of, at least 6 months before Smokey came off YouTube. I can't remember when Praise said he got the bribe, but I know that he's had more than one. Or a hypocrite, and I think Praise actually knew. Whatever it was.
Everything except for the whole, flat Earth, ball Earth.
I know. You lost me as soon as you mentioned flat Earth. You lost me.
Bro, we were talking about the Illuminati, the New World Order for like 5 hours, and then
yeah, dude.
I think the Earth is flat too, man. And then
I still want to sign up for going on a field trip to see the flat Earth wall, the ice wall around the circumference of the flat Earth disk or whatever it is, and just take a look at that, or peek over the edge and see what it looks like.
Yeah, just look it up. It's called the Antarctic ice wall. Yeah, that was my other question for Darth. Do you think the Earth is young, or do you believe in 4.5 billion year old Earth?
I think the Bible is very clear that the Earth is young.
I agree with you on that. Yeah,
God wrote in plain language.
I'm taking a strike off for that.
Yeah.
You're a heretic, Darth.
In language, and those people who say otherwise are simply capitulating. They're trying to conform what God said in just plain language, and they're trying to force fit it into a modern consensus. See, what most people don't understand is that Darwinism preceded any empirical methodologies attempting to date things. So Darwinism has to presuppose that the Earth is vastly old, even in the hopes of foisting evolution. Well, once they accepted evolution, then it follows from that they accepted that the Earth and the universe is old. And so all of their empirical methodologies is just a form of confirmation bias. People are so uneducated when it comes to radiometric isotope dating. They think that this is a super accurate way to date rocks, and it is not. It's based upon circular reasoning.
How dare you speak against Rob Rowe from Central Apologetics? Have you ever talked to him, Darth?
No, but I get weary of.
He is a piece of garbage. Another one, Rob Rowe, Sentinel Apologetics, is a theistic evolutionist. He despises the King James Bible. He ridicules it. Cause people to doubt God's word, essentially. That's Rob Rowe for you.
These professing Christians who are compromisers, who adopt old earthism. It's sad.
I believe you are my brother in Christ.
You
believe Rob Rowe is a brother in Christ?
I believe Darth Dawkins is my brother in Christ. He does.
No, I meant Rob Rowe.
I just think he needs to figure out the Bible and how servant and son are two different words, but he's definitely my brother in Christ. He understands that the world, according to the Bible, is definitely not old.
I'm going to ask you a question. How did the King James Bible translators decide on which textual variant to include in the English translation?
They didn't. They followed the church, just like everyone.
No, sir. All right, stop. Okay. Now, what I'm going to say is going to sound harsh, but it's not intended to be. But I have to call you out. What you just said is just showing complete ignorance of what went on. The King James Bible translators had to exercise textual criticism, much like modern publishers of Greek manuscripts and modern translations do the same thing. Okay. And King James only people are simply ignorant of the fact that the King James Bible translators themselves had to pick and select one variant over another. Okay? Now, we know that the people who copy the New Testament year after year, these were not professional scribes that did this as an occupation like we had with the Jewish people. So, for example, when we look at the various manuscripts of the Old Testament, for example, between, let's say, the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Masoretic text, what we find is an incredibly small degree of textual variance compared to the New Testament, because the New Testament copyists were not at the same professional level. So as good as they were, they would make simply copyist mistakes because of the multiplicity of these copies and circulating it. Now, that doesn't mean that the original text type is lost. It's still there. But the question is when we compare one textual variant with another, and we can discern what type of errors were made, like, for example, that it was let me put it this way, the overwhelming majority of textual variants are insignificant, and it's easy when we look at the text as how the mistake was made. Okay? So this idea that modern translations are New Age Bibles, comes, out of people like Constance Cumby or Tex Mars, things like that. It doesn't hold up. I would strongly recommend that you read James White's book, the King James.
Is it me or is Darth breaking up?
Yeah, he's
also there's a book by the book on the King James controversy.
Your mic's breaking up, Darth.
All right,
roboting in the house.
We'll
hello.
Right,
how you doing?
Welcome, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you ready to take the Darth challenge number 2?
Who's going to watch Numi's unboxing tomorrow?
Or round number 2.
I was just passing by and sort of, I heard that you're a young Earth creationist, Darth. I find that kind of surprising. It's a little bit weird to me. So, I guess, like, I heard you talking about radiometric dating, and radiometric dating isn't, 100% accurate. There's degrees of inaccuracy in it, but it's not terrible methodology of dating.
Is it based upon circular reasoning, Mark?
No. So you don't believe in...
You just showed your ignorance right there.
Okay, sure. Well, see, the thing is, we know that radiometric isotopes decay at a certain rate.
Whenever somebody says we, that troubles them.
Well, I mean, sort of the scientific community that uses radiometric
I'm very well read about radiometric isotope dating. Please don't do what you did last time, like your community college.
Darth, you're breaking up again, man. You might need
to I can't understand the word you're saying.
You might need to refresh your mic.
So what I was saying is that sort of we know that radiometric dating we use atomic clocks in the same way. It has a very, very reliable decay rate that we use it for, and depending on which isotope we're using, like carbon-14 or sort of plutonium dating or argon. Is it argon? Yeah. They go back certain dates, but I don't think it's circular. I don't think that radiometric dating is based upon the age of the Earth. I don't think that's the case, because we use the same methodology or the same idea for atomic clocks, which are extraordinarily accurate. We use them for the most accurate clocks in the world.
Okay, that's besides the point. Mark, I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Your mic's not fixed. Really. It still broke out.
It's not really besides the point.
It sounds like Aurora Borealis. It sounds like the Aurora type of interference you'd get on a shortwave radio.
All right, I'm going to switch to my earpod mic.
Sweet.
I wasn't aware. I see that the banner down the bottom. I wasn't aware there was actually a dark challenge kind of thing. I just found it interesting. So is everybody a young Earth creationist here? Just
okay.
Okay, how about now? Is that better?
It's better, but it sounds like it's far away, but it's still
Like
better.
way better than you were before. You were in oblivion before.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better. Not roboting as much.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, Mark, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay.
Well, see, the thing is that last time
Mark,
you said I should have
why are you
refused the
interrupting
questions.
me? We're not going to do a repeat. We're not going to do a repeat that you did the last time. I don't
Because
mind
last
you disagreeing
time
with
you
me.
accused
Okay,
me.
Praise, would you please
last time
put a
you
stop
was-
to this? What,
Yeah,
we're not going to have
so-
a repeat of this again. like you
Mark,
did the
so
last time.
he can convey his position, so you can critique it. Can you let him just
Sure.
present his points? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what we need to
he
do
doesn't
is
need
we
to
need
ask me questions
Okay,
to present
Praise,
his
what
position.
we need to do is each person can speak uninterrupted for 60 seconds, and then after that, the other person can interrupt and interject, so it prevents one or both of us doing autistic community college lectures.
I agree.
Now-
So every person has a minute to speak. How about that, Mark?
Okay, so
Yeah, sure, that
Mark,
sounds great.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay.
Well, you
Now-
don't need to ask me questions to make your
Okay,
position.
Mark,
clear.
Mark, listen, we're mano a mano. I'm not going to have a repeat of your same bad behavior that you did last time. Okay,
Well,
so
I think-
stop.
Fantastic. No worries.
Now, radiometric isotope dating is based upon several factors combined in order to get an estimated age. Okay, one of them is the isolation of an isotope known as the daughter element. Do you agree with that?
I believe so. Yeah, the daughter.
Okay, and
element,
then
yeah.
the next thing is that they want to figure out what the half-life decay is of the parent element that decayed into the daughter element. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And they also have to have a putative atomic state of a parent element. Do you agree with that?
A punitive state of atomic element.
Putative parent element.
I'm
Putative
not sure what
means
you're saying.
asserted to be the case.
Asserted to be the case.
Yeah. Now, must the rock containing the daughter element be as old, if not older, than the putative parent element?
Must the rock be older than the parent element?
Can the rock be younger than the parent element?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so you have to start with the assumption that the rock containing the daughter element that allegedly decayed from the parent element over long periods of time, that the rock containing that that it is as old, if not older, than the putative parent element. Do you agree with that?
I don't see the point that you're trying to make. So
Okay, that's a
we
dodge.
can see the
That's a dodge.
decay
I asked
of
you a
elements.
I asked you a question, you didn't answer it. Do you need
Which
me to
was-
repeat the question?
Yeah. Repeat the question then.
Okay, yeah, because I articulated it very clearly. Okay. Must the rock containing the daughter element that allegedly decayed from the putative parent element, must that rock be as old or older than the putative parent element?
It's as old as the parent element.
Okay. Must it be as old or older than the parent element?
Well, I mean, I suppose it could be older, and the parent
Right.
element
Now-
was in
now,
fact
if
the
it was
daughter of
younger-
another element.
If it was younger, in fact,
Mhm.
unbeknownst to the testers, then the putative parent element, would their calculations be wrong?
If the rock was younger, would their calculations be wrong? Is that what you're asking?
If the rock was younger, unbeknownst to them, than the putative parent element, okay, that they're counting backwards to, would their calculations be wrong?
Well, I think that if the rock was younger, the calculations and models that they created wouldn't work at all.
That's not an answer to my question. That was
Yes,
an
it is.
example. It was
No,
an
it
example
is.
of an example of verbal obfuscation. It was
No,
a
it
direct.
is.
It was okay. It was a direct. Please don't repeat your bad behavior that you did the last time. Okay, you just make yourself look silly. Okay, I'm not fooled by your rhetoric.
Wow.
Okay, all right. Wow. Okay. And the reason why I'm being so straightforward with you is because of your monologuing and boulder dashing the last time I talked with you. Now, if that rock was created
Is it my
1 month
60
ago,
seconds yet?
okay, no, I'm asking a series of questions. That's all. If the rock came into existence,
I think my 60 seconds will never come.
okay,
No, hold on. See, Darth, we'll let him do his line of questioning too, so we can have a
that's
fair
fine.
balance.
That's fine, but I haven't gotten to my point yet.
Okay, go ahead, Darth.
Well, I mean, it was supposed to be 60 seconds, and he's obviously not going to do that. So I'm really sorry, but that's what he said. And
so is
No,
that okay, Darth?
you were giving 60 seconds when I asked you these questions.
But
Now,
I'm not
do you
allowed
want-
to answer them
If you
how
wanna-
I want.
No,
Wow.
you're given 60 seconds uninterrupted. Okay. Now, do you want to ask me any questions before I resume?
Yes,
my
yeah,
questioning?
absolutely. So how
Sure.
do we explain the ice core layers in the Antarctica going down 800,000 years?
Okay, I don't accept that extrapolation. Okay, I don't accept that the ice layers are laid down yearly. They could have been laid down rapidly in the same
How
way.
does that work?
The question.
How does that work?
I'll explain it to you in a second. Okay, the question can be answered by a parallel explanation dealing
You're
with
obfuscating.
the okay.
You're obfuscating.
We're not going to
It's a very
continue.
simple
We're not.
question.
We're
Just
not going
explain how
to.
it
We're not going to
works.
continue praise. I am not going to put up with this. If you don't stop this child.
Just explain how it works. How are the layers
praise.
laid
Are
down?
you going to monitor? Are you going to
Yes,
moderate?
I'm jumping in, Darth. So can enough of the insults and the ad hominems? Can we just continue with the conversation?
What we are
Sure.
dealing with are various layers, one on top of each other, much like the layers that we find in the Grand Canyon. The problem is you are approaching the age of these ice layers, or for that matter, the sedimentary layers like in the Grand Canyon, through an ideological retrospective called uniformitarianism. Now, do you know what uniformitarianism is?
So how do the layers get put down if not for
I just
annual,
asked you a direct
ice?
question, sir.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get some time to ask some questions as well.
Okay,
Because my question, you didn't answer my
I know.
question. My question was, how do you explain that? And you didn't explain
I
it. You just said
explained that these multiple
uniformitarianism.
layers, these layers.
So how will they get there?
You know, there's only so much of this I'm going to put up with, praise.
Yeah.
So you didn't answer the question. I mean, when I say
you know what?
I'm just going to say we're going to go to time response.
You know what? You told me you were autistic. You definitely proved it now.
Well, here's what I suggest: we go into time responses. We both just get a minute straight up. You can place your.
My explanation is that various layers, whether it's ice cores or sedimentary layers, from a biblical paradigm, is that these layers were laid down rapidly over a short period of time, rather than the extrapolation that these layers, including the ice layers and the sedimentary layers in the Grand Canyon, happened over a long period of time. The reason why they interpret these layers as being representative of many years is because they are filtering it through an ideological grid known as uniformitarianism. Now, Mark, do you know what uniformitarianism is in geology? What is it?
So,
can you tell me what that is?
Uniformitarianism basically says that all of the processes in geological formation are basically the same no matter where they are in the world. But what I don't understand is
that is an incorrect representation.
All of these things were laid down all at once.
No, that's not uniformitarianism.
That's not uniformitarianism. Okay, yeah. Please do not help him out, praise.
Okay.
Now, can you tell me?
Can
you tell me within a geological retrodiction,
Well, let's look it up, shall we?
What
I mean,
would
if I'm
be?
wrong, I'd
Hey,
like to
listen,
know.
listen. This look. I'm going to ask you to remove him if he doesn't stop with this. Okay.
Well, I mean, I do
This
want.
is a tactic that he pulls all the
Yeah.
time. Now, Mark, can you tell me, prior to uniformitarianism, what was the technical term that geologists use?
Sorry, well, it's funny. I've just looked it up. The uniformitarianism says the Earth is always
you're not
changed. No,
answering my
excuse me,
question.
sir. I just looked it up. You
Look,
told me I
Priest,
was
I'm
wrong.
not gonna keep on doing
Hold
this.
on,
I asked
guys,
you a
hold on.
question,
You told me
and he is
you told me I was wrong, so I looked it up.
Sir,
But he's not prevaricating. You're the one who's prevaricating. He asked you to explain how this happens, and you never did that. You ran away when you were asked.
This is realistic
You were
nihilism.
asked
Please
to
remove him,
explain. You were asked to
Please
explain
remove
how
realistic
something happened,
nihilism.
and you ran away.
Yeah.
It is
Who
is
orthonologist is realistic nihilist. Get rid of him.
Well, I think he's
Mark,
got a point, but
Mark,
you asked me.
okay.
No, Darth, settle. You asked me. You asked me what uniformitarianism was. I
And you gave
gave
an
my
incorrect answer.
understanding.
That
Right.
was
So I
incorrect.
looked it up. So let's get on the same page with our
Okay,
definitions.
now I asked
to
you a
start with.
follow-up question.
So uniformitarianism, also known as the
I asked
doctrine
you
of
a follow-up
uniformity,
question.
or the
What was it?
uniformitarian principle, is the assumption
all
of the
he's doing is
same
he's
natural
reading.
laws and
What he's
processes
doing-
that operate in our present-day scientific
reading from an article.
observations.
You're just
have always
over-talking each
operated
other.
in the universe
Hold
in
on,
the
guys.
past.
I'm gonna
He's
mute
doing it
people
again,
here.
Praise.
Well, no,
All
I
you're
looked
simply
it
doing,
up.
Mark, is
We
you're
need to do
reading
time
from an internet
responses,
page.
Darth.
Hey, Mark,
Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull it up.
can you stop reading material and speak to me and converse with me rather than reading stuff off the internet?
Well, the definition appears to be
Mark,
similar to
can
what
you
I
stop
said.
reading stuff off the internet and converse with me, please?
Yeah, the definition
Do you
appears to
do
be
you
similar
commit to
what
doing
I
that, Mark?
said. Well,
Mark,
when
do you-
somebody says I'm wrong, I look it up. Yeah, Darth, I do that when someone
Mark,
says I'm wrong.
I didn't tell you not to look it up. You are reading
Okay.
and you are wasting your time and you're dodging and delaying. Now, Mark, what is the geological term that has supplanted uniformitarianism in geology today?
I don't know. I don't think.
Okay, so you don't know a critical term in modern geology.
Well, what's that term
now
in your
prior
opinion?
to uniformitarianism, what was the retrodictive term in geological nomenclature that they used before they changed to uniformitarianism? What was the term, Mark?
Gradualism?
No, it was called catastrophism.
Well,
Okay?
I mean, that's a religious stance.
No,
It's
no,
not-
it
not
wasn't
really in
gradualism.
modern geology.
Uniformitarianism incorporates the notion of gradualism. I ask you, what was popular before uniformitarianism? What was the term? And you didn't know. The term is catastrophism.
Okay, hold on. Give Darth
Now,
1 minute.
The fact of the matter
Mark
is
1 minute.
modern geology doesn't
Right.
even go by
Darth, hold on.
uniformitarianism.
We're going to give you a
It goes
minute.
by actualism, which is a mixture of uniformitarianism and some
I'm starting it
catastrophism.
now, Darth. You get a minute. I'm going to let Mark get a minute to respond. So go ahead, Darth.
Okay, so if the Earth was created 1 month ago, or 1 year ago, or 6,000 years ago, okay, what would that mean for the retrodictive calculations based upon the half-life? Would that mean that they are wrong?
This is your minute. You got to keep making your points.
Unless you say your time is up.
Well, I
yeah.
mean,
I'm waiting for an answer to my question.
Okay, so now it's Mark's turn now for his. Yeah.
All right, now it's yours.
So,
Go ahead.
even if it was like created last Thursdayism kind of thing, we still know the
I asked
decay
you
rate
a
for that.
question.
We still know the decay rates for these isotopes, and they do decay at a constant rate. The idea that we can measure this and use it for hyper-accurate clocks isn't an aside or something completely unrelated. The fact is that we see these isotopes decaying right now at a certain amount. Well, I mean, I am. It means that if even
stop interrupting, you pig.
Even if the universe was created, a certain amount of years ago, it would not invalidate the rate of decay for isotopes. It just
that's not what's
you haven't answered how the layers got there on the ice.
I
You
already
just
explained
said,
that to
"Hey,
you. I did
I
answer you.
I just uniformitarianism," and then you went off a complete tangent. You
No,
didn't
I
explain
did
how
answer
they
you.
got
Don't
there.
you recall what I said? I did answer you. Do you recall what I said?
I don't recall any answer. How did the ice
Okay,
layers
I
get
did give you an answer. Do you not
there?
remember?
How was
it?
that? Well, no, I remember you bringing up
you
uniformitarianism.
don't remember what I said?
Does anyone else?
Okay. I'm asking you, do you remember what I said?
Does anyone else remember?
Catastrophism.
Okay. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said
Well,
was,
then nobody seems to remember
I
that.
hold to, you know what? This is why it is so difficult dealing with you, because you're purposely obtuse. You don't know how to have an adult
And this is what they do.
interaction. Now,
Okay.
I answered the question that
Wow.
I hold from a biblical narrative, okay, because I hold that the Bible is authoritative over every area that it speaks, as opposed to that the mind of men are the ultimate authority as to the interpretation of everything. That since the Bible lays out in plain language through the genealogies that the earth is young rather than old, then these layers were laid down rapidly rather than over a long period of time, and that it happened through the events that led up to the worldwide flood. In the worldwide flood, we would have had a massive geological upheaval resulting in numerous recurrent tsunamis, producing massive atmospheric changes and including a recurring flooding of the continents, producing many layers of sedimentary deposits deposited in certain places on the earth, and including numerous rainfalls producing successive ice layers in the north as well. Now, obviously, you don't agree with that. Now, I asked you a question which you did not answer. I will repeat the question that I asked. I said, if the earth was indeed created 6,000 to 7,000 years ago, would that make the extrapolatory calculations from the daughter element to the putative parent element, would those calculations be incorrect?
No.
Yes, they would.
Now
you didn't understand the question. You did
No,
not
I
understand
did.
the
I've already
question.
explained
No,
this.
I will
I've already
tell you
explained
why.
this, that
I
we've
will
sort
tell
of
you why the
monitored
calculations don't
the
work.
decay of isotope
Yeah,
over
dude,
time.
you're not going to lecture me because I know what I'm
What
talking
happened to
about.
time responses, guys? Can we get some order here? This is chaotic.
I don't.
Right.
Hold on.
I've got
I'm
no
going to go
problem.
into time responses.
See, he's not understanding the issue.
Nobody's
Okay?
respecting
How can
the 1 minute.
explain to me this?
Darth,
If
you're
the
not
earth
respecting the 1 minute.
were
Mark is not respecting the
6,000
1 minute.
years
Hang
old,
on. Wait. Time out. Hang
okay,
on.
if
Hey,
the would
Darth,
you
hold on. Time out.
would you get rid of Kevin, please?
What?
Now,
We're
Mark,
trying to get some
Mark,
Kevin's
moderation.
trying to
if the
sort of
earth,
get a bit.
okay, Mark, I'm going to simplify this for you by asking you a simple question.
Yeah, so Darth,
okay,
I don't feel like
you
I
know,
want to
all right,
listen to you because you're
okay.
really not sort of
Okay,
talking with me.
Mark,
You're talking
see,
at
this is
me.
what happened the last time I dealt with you. Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
Mark,
They
Mark,
do.
look, if somebody found, let's say hypothetically, this is just an illustration.
Right.
If let's say Eve had found Adam's dead body the day after God created him, how old would he have appeared to her?
I don't know how old Adam was. I mean, but presumably under 100 or so.
I just gave you the answer. You just showed that you don't listen. Do you know what I just said to you?
You said if Eve had found Adam's body the day after he created him, how old would he appear?
A day.
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah. How old would you know? How old would he
I
appear
don't
to
know.
you?
Is he an adult? Is he a baby?
She
I don't know.
She couldn't tell. She wouldn't be able to tell because there was no metric for her to apply.
Right, but is she doing radiometric dating?
No, you're not
One
understanding.
day.
Okay, what I'm trying to point out to
So-
you is this. Okay, listen. In radiometric isotope dating, I can grant you that the decay rate of elements is constant. Okay, but here's the problem.
Was Kevin kicked out then? I think Praise booted him out at Darth's request. Should have it. Oh well.
Problem. Do you know what the precise atomic state of any of the parent elements were when they allegedly started and eventually decayed into the daughter element? Do you know what the precise atomic state was?
There is a margin of error, yes. Not exactly.
No, that's not an answer to my
Not
question.
exactly. There is a margin of error, yes.
No, that's a dodge, what you just said.
That's not a dodge.
Yeah. Are they able to, is the precise atomic state of the parent element and a conjecture or an extrapolation?
The precise state is a estimation, yes. Precise.
No, you would need a time machine to do that, Mark.
Okay. Well, it still doesn't explain how 800,000
So you just conceded to my point, Mark? Have you conceded to my point? Okay,
as I said,
Mark,
we know
how
the
can you-
decay rate of these substances.
No, Mark, I granted you that the decay rate is constant. Okay, so you
Right.
don't need to be bringing
So
it
what's the
up.
problem?
Now, Mark, are rocks porous?
So, do we know how much time has passed
Mark,
from
did
the
I just
amount
ask
of
you a
water
question?
element?
You see,
Yeah,
this is
I
what
can't
you've
seem to ask any of my own.
No,
That's the
okay,
problem.
you're free to ask me questions, but I'm asking a question. Are
Yeah,
rocks
I'm
porous?
certainly trying.
Are
They
rocks
are
porous,
porous.
Mark?
Well, depending on the
And
rock.
are rocks subject to groundwater contamination?
Well, depending on the rock. I mean, some rocks are non-porous, like clays and things like that.
No. All rocks are subject.
No. When are you submitting
Are you
your
going to
paper?
stop this abuse, Praise?
You're not answering my question,
Are you
Darth.
going to
Are
stop
you
this?
or are you
Yes,
not
hold on,
Are you going to
guys.
stop this?
Wait,
I do.
guys,
I'm
let's do
trying
time
to.
responses.
This
I
is
think time responses was
absurd,
good.
Praise, and you sit idly by and you tolerate this.
No, I'm trying to be fair to both sides, Darth, and like you're just not seeing it, man. I'm
Well,
on
it's
your
not that you're
side.
being fair.
I think praise is being fair.
Mark,
but I'm doing a lot of sitting and listening, and you do not answer my question.
You know,
I want to do time responses,
you want me to
Darth.
come? Listen,
I think that would be
come back
Do you
here?
not understand what time responses means?
You want me
When
to
it's the
come
other
back
person's
here,
turn to talk,
Praise?
shut up.
Yes, I've already told you this, Darth. I'm trying to be on your side
fucking
here.
time, this happens every fucking time, and you sit idly by and you allow this abuse, Praise.
Stop. Me. No crybabies, Praise. Oh dear.
You do this
Yeah,
every
Praise.
fucking time.
What's the matter with you, man?
Somebody put
I mean,
Darth
do
in
you seriously
timeout.
want me to come
This
back?
is terrible,
This
Praise.
happens
Darth,
I
every
told
time.
you, Darth.
This is absolutely horrendous. Typical Praise channel, really. Pig poop.
Yes, but you're too demanding, man.
Then
Show
put a
some.
stop to this childish behavior of this
Darth,
I
attempting to have an
offered.
adult interaction.
I offered time responses, Darth. I
All right,
offered
you
it.
know what? I've just about had it, Praise. I've just about had it. This is one of my long-standing
Do you
complaints.
not
that I
understand
have
what a
with you.
time response is,
Okay.
Darth? Like, we agree with
All
your
right, you know
points,
what?
but
You know
gotta
what,
do time
Praise?
responses.
This is a dumpster fire, and it's all your thoughts.
How? I'm trying to be fair to both of you.
No, you're
It's
not
obvious it's your fault,
being
Tom.
fair. You're not being reasonable.
In this case, I mean, Praise was trying to make sure it was 2-minute doodah, 2-minute timed thingy. Darth's not liking it. He doesn't want to answer questions. He wants to be the inquisitor.
Putting up with his abuse, okay?
I said time responses, man. I'm trying to give you time responses.
I don't understand
fuck
how
is
I've
that?
abused anybody.
My
How
goodness.
have I abused anybody?
try
Mark,
to be.
I don't agree with your points at all, Mark. He
Mark,
wasn't
it's
letting you
okay.
talk.
We
That
all
was
saw it,
that's
man.
not a
It
good way
wasn't
to
your
have a
fault.
conversation.
You're okay.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
And I
Kevin?
want to hear what Josh has to say too, because I want to see what his.
I think Darth say that you were answering in the wrong way, that you didn't understand his question, and the way you answered proved that you didn't understand his question. He was going to try and clarify what his question is, because I mean, his stuff's a bit complicated sometimes, but sometimes you just need to sort of try and listen and see what he was trying to get you to say, and then if you answer what he says, and then it'll progress on from there, and then later on you could have a conversation about it, I suppose. I don't know. I think that's what he's saying.
I don't think so, especially if I disagree with what he's saying. I'm going to say so. I'm not going to lie.
But often he'll ask for yes or no question, and if he does it, if you do it for him, and then later on you can say, well, I did it for you, so you can do it for me, sort of thing.
Well, I did answer a few yes or no questions, but I actually, while I'm here, I got to apologise to Kevin because
I don't know. I think that's what he's saying.
I don't think so, especially if I disagree with what he's saying. I'm going to say so. I'm not going to lie.
But often he'll ask for yes or no question, and if he does it, if you do it for him, and then later on you can say, well, I did it for you, so you can do it for me, sort of thing.
Well, I did answer a few yes or no questions, but I actually, while I'm here, I got to apologise to Kevin because we kind of got into it last time, and a few insults were thrown, and I do apologise, Kevin, for my side of it, mate.
Was I unfair to Darth? I'm not trying to figure out how I was unfair to him. I tried to be as fair as possible to both sides.
I think you were. I think that timed responses.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't Mark's fault. He just freaked out, man. He screamed. Did you hear that?
Yeah. So the mistake you made, Mark, was letting him get away, because he wanted to start to bring it down this sort of conceptual route about uniformitarianism or catastrophism or whatever the theory he has is. But the problem with that is you asked him a direct question, which he ran away from, and that you should have pressed harder. You asked him to explain the mechanism behind, like, if we assume catastrophism is true, you asked him to explain the mechanism by which that could happen. And he couldn't do it. And he ran away. He kept talking about how you were dodging him, but he never answered that question. Instead, he decided to start questioning you in response. So what you should have done is say, look, I'm not interested in an act.
Well, in fairness, he did mention tsunamis at one point, but I would have some questions about that. Like, I mean, if you're talking about 800,000 layers in Antarctica, you're talking about, minus the 6,740, 794,000 tsunamis all in the space of the flood over a year. I think that's a little weird to say. Like, I'd like to know how that happened, because that's insane.
Here was the main issue, is that the moderator wanted to do timed responses. So even if Darth disagreed with what you were saying, or he's accusing you of dodging the question, he should have held his tongue till it was his turn to talk, and then he could have called you out on it. That's not how time responses work. You shut your stupid mouth until the other person's done talking, then you speak for your minute or two, or whatever the time is. If your opponent said something that you disagree with, or you think he dodged your question, bring it up when it's your turn to talk. What part of time responses do you not understand, Darth?
And we were doing that.
The way you were acting like an abusive scumbag, and I say that from one Christian to another. You need to repent. Learn how to, a time response means time's response.
Yeah, no, me and Grace were trying really hard to do the 1 minute thing with them.
Yeah, even Numi was trying to help out too. It was like, wow, I thought we were all trying to help out, man.
Well, I'm sorry that it caused friction. It really wasn't my intention.
Oh, it's okay, Mark. And I don't agree with you at all. I think some of your points are pretty stupid, but the way Darth was behaving is unacceptable.
That's what makes a civil society. See, I love that right there. Cheers, boys.
Sort of what's the sentiment that I disagree with everything you say, but I'd fight for the death for your right to say it, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right, we all should have a voice and express our opinions and ideas.
But sometimes Darth says things in a roundabout way, and then he expects people to let him go in the roundabout way, to a convoluted way to get around to what he's saying. And if you wait, then you can see what he's saying. But sometimes I think, well, maybe the other person's doing the same thing and they're going around in a convoluted way to answer your question, and maybe you need to listen as well. I don't know, but sometimes he says stuff like that, and what he says is complicated, and sometimes he asks yes and no questions, and he does get the crap, but does get upset with that. Fair enough, because maybe
because we don't believe in monkey mayflowers. There's none mentioned in the Bible.
Right.
Solution.
So who wants to? Who's
on topic to topic to topic?
But I can see what he's put and try to understand it and try to have a time. I mean, I'm not saying to do it all the time. Like you have to just, bow and scrape and all that sort of stuff, all the time or whatever. But, I just like to see where it'd lead to sometimes.
Well, look, Jason, I answer questions to the best of my ability. And, I get things wrong. I not be.
Yep, 37 watching out of 12,000. The other 11,963 will turn up later. James is tired. He's going to be in here in a second.
The best answer, but it's the honest one that I give, or at least I try to. Disagree all you want. That's
you know what, guys?
James is tired. Bringing wisdom.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm starting to get sick of walking on eggshells with Darth. I like him. I've learned a lot from him, and he's like a teacher to me. But this emotional abuse to me is enough. I'm starting to get pissed off. So,
well, my brother in Christ, Darth Dawkins, spends a lot of time with atheists and deals with that.
Honestly, Praise. Like, who the fuck does he think? You have some respect. You know what I mean, Praise? Like. That's
right. He's on my channel too. He understands that. Come on, Darth. That was pretty bad. I'm sorry.
The hours upon hours with atheists jumping around topic to topic to topic.
But I can see what his point is. Sometimes he's just trying to get someone to stick. Like often someone will ask me a question, I go off on a tangent. As you've seen heaps of times, and it pisses people off.
What's up, Dave? What's going on, David?
Off when it goes off on a tangent.
This is great, man. I'm gonna come in here every night. I love you, Praise.
I want to know what the point of it all is. What's the argument leaning toward? Who has what's the verse? What's the argument?
It's young Earth versus old Earth. It's
young Earth is true because we don't believe in monkey mayflowers. There's none mentioned in the Bible.
Right.
Young Earth
just an evolution.
So who wants to? Let me ask you a question.
Monkey Mayflower.
What's that?
Monkey Mayflower.
The monkey Mayflower, right? How the monkeys got to America? They got to America on the Mayflower.
Right?
We don't buy evolution, so I think the atheists understand that.
They surf to America. Monkeys.
Darth, you guys got to get Darth right. He talks to atheists. He plays with the atheists on their playing field, and you could see how he gets into atheism, and he starts arguing with the atheists like atheists, and he gets. It's the same way, right? He's dealing with atheists so long.
He better not hold a grudge against me, man, because I went on my way to try to, be on his side and help him out. So
no, it's all your fault, Praise. It's all your fault.
All right, but
I know, man. I still love you, Darth.
Who's Young Earth here?
I'm Young Earth.
I am.
Oh, yeah? What does that mean?
I do not. I cannot read I don't know how Darth can read his Bible with verses completely missing. Right? That's his deal with it. But I can't read my Bible and reconcile how the earth can go through all these states, like these little germs becoming like humans. It doesn't have any of that in there. I'm just missing that part.
Is Darth Young Earth or Old Earth?
Darth is young. Yeah. He reads, at least he reads the part of his Bible that's there.
So is it wrong to think that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, and there may be 400 billion years until day one?
Yes, because that takes Genesis chapter 5 and makes it like a fucking Picasso painting.
So with any example between...
Let me ask you this question, 315, or what's your name, 315? 316?
Well, you can call me Taylor.
Taylor, okay. Taylor,
my keyboard don't work on my computer.
So when it says in the evening and the morning were the first day, how long was that?
A day.
How long is a day?
A day is 24 hours.
No, it's not.
24
It's
hours.
12 hours.
Well,
You wanna
according
debate me?
No,
according
it's
to
not.
Genesis,
Because the
it is.
Hebrews split up the day from morning to evening and evening to morning, or whatever. You know what I mean? But they split it up
Where
into
was
two
where was the
12-hour
greater light
parts.
that
So the
ruled?
night
How do you
part and
figure
the
there's
day
evening and
part.
morning?
Because
Okay,
God
how do you?
said, "I'll let the night, the lesser light rule the night, and the greater light rule the
Day
day."
one, it wasn't even created yet. The lesser light to rule the night. I'm talking day one. Where was the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night?
Day 1 through 3, a million years go by.
What about God? I mean, God.
All right, everybody's talking over each other. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Well, what about God? God can be light or is light. I mean, it's like people always go on about how did he do this and how did he do that. I mean, Noah could have built the ark out of paper mache, and God could have made it float.
I'm not going on about anything. I'm asking one question. And the evening and the morning were the first day. How long is that?
The first day is 24 hours.
How do you figure that?
I figure that because I believe that it was created in 6 days, and on the 7th day rested.
How long was the 7th day?
The 7th day was 24 hours.
Never says the evening and the morning were the 7th day, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it still doesn't help your case.
Why not?
Because,
Why doesn't that matter? You just make up an opinion.
But it doesn't help your case because you're trying to put millions of years into 12 hours.
Wait a minute. No. I didn't put millions of years in anything. Where do you say I put millions of years? I'm asking you one question.
Yeah.
And the evening and I didn't put millions of years anywhere. And I said one day. I said the first day is 12
Dave, you
hours.
haven't told him what your position is, so he's assuming you're arguing for.
I'm a YC.
What are you talking about my position? I'm asking a question that's very simple. I'm not asking anything but at the first day where it says in the evening and the morning were the first day. Is it? Let me make this clear one more time.
Oh, hang on, let me plug my headphones in.
All right, let's listen very carefully to what I'm saying.
Dave, do you believe in old Earth or young Earth?
I don't give a shit if the Earth's old or young. This is not the
Then
question.
why are you asking the questions?
Because you're stupid and you're not listening. Now listen to me carefully.
Well, if you're not willing to state your
The
position,
phrase, you're not even listening. And the evening and the morning were the first day. How long is the first? How clear can I get? Yeah, you're so stupid. You're not clear the shit out of your ears.
What's your
And the evening and the morning were the first day. How long is the first day?
He said 24 hours.
It's 12 hours. You're wrong.
So 24 hours.
12
evening
hours.
and the morning were the first day. That's what it says.
That's
24 hours.
Huh?
6 days of creation. Hey,
Jesus Christ said there is 12 hours in the day.
guys, 6 days.
You know
of
why I
creation.
know it's 12 hours? You know why I know it's 12 hours? Because Jesus said so.
That's a day, though. He said the evening and the morning.
I don't care what you think.
Evening, guys.
Go look at John 11:9 and read
this
it.
point. You're talking.
Go look at John 11:9 and you tell Jesus that he's a liar.
But that's
He
a
says,
day.
"I'm
He
after
said
12
the
hours
evening
in
and
a
the
day."
morning. You still haven't clicked.
Was
Your
the
light
first
bulb
day,
hasn't gone
and a
off.
day is 24 hours. Sorry,
None of you
24 hours.
King
A day
James
is 24
King
hours.
James only, and you don't even know what I'm talking about. Really?
I know what you're talking
Seriously.
about, but you still haven't. The shit hasn't sustained. He said the evening and the morning, not one day.
I'm finished. I'm talking to
Not just
people
a
that
day.
can't
over each
process
other.
a very
Why does
simple
it
question.
matter? Hey, guys, just from an outsider's side, why does it matter if it's 12 or 24 hours? Why does it? Well, that's scary.
Look, why does anything
it
matter about?
Well, it's actually a day. It's actually a day, okay? It's 6 days of creation. It's that simple.
The reason why it matters is because if it
Jace is going to bring wisdom.
is the truth that it's 24 literal hours, that is the truth of the Bible. Us as Christians are to follow the truth. If for some reason it's not, we want to know the truth. So we're
Well, then
looking at what
you don't believe Jesus. Go read John 11:9. That's my point.
No,
Go
I
read John
don't.
It says a day is 12 hours. It says in the Bible, in
doesn't
Genesis,
say
the
that.
evening and the morning.
Yeah.
No, I haven't said anything about what my position is. What I'm saying is,
light didn't.
Yeah, but the evening and the morning, the day was split into 2 parts, and the evening was the night, and the morning was the day, the 12-hour part. So you
Where's
had the
the
night,
greater
the
light to rule
12-hour
the day in
part,
day
and
one?
then you
Where
had
is
because it was split into 2 parts, because it said God said the lesser light to rule the night and the greater light to rule the day. right, or other way around, whatever.
You know,
but
I'm talking about,
and when he
yeah,
says the evening, he said the evening is and the morning is the first day. So the evening would be the night, and the morning would be the 12-hour part in the day. The evening would be the 12-hour part at night, and the morning would be the 12-hour
Right,
part in
you're
the day.
ignorant. How ignorant can
So
you possibly be?
that's what I would say it would be, and because I know that they split it into two parts. I know they did. That was the night
You
part with
think
the
the greater
lesser
light,
light,
and just happened to be in
the
day
day
one,
part
but
with the
it's
greater
not.
light. So yeah, that's what I
you
would
keep
say.
telling me the greater light to rule the day is in day one. Have you read? Can you read?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that
You're
God said
just saying
the
nothing.
evening and the morning, and then that was, I know that they used it, the Hebrew, in the Hebrew was
you're
split
so
into
full
2
of bunk.
days, into 2 parts. Sorry, one day was split into 2 parts, 12-hour parts,
You
night
Christians
and
don't
day.
know your scripture. You don't know
So
anything.
yes,
You can't even read.
so yes, that's what it means. It means
Blah,
the
blah,
first
blah,
day. It
blah,
means
blah.
24 hours. Well, it's more plausible than because I actually quoted other scriptures that back it up, but it's more plausible than your interpretation, where it's only 12 hours, which means millions of years.
I'm telling you what it says.
Is that what you're getting
I'm reading
to?
what the book says.
But what are you getting to?
Lights don't work.
I'm getting to you don't know how to read. That's why.
He's got some of the lights not coming on. He still doesn't acknowledge that we're talking about an evening and a morning. He still thinks, oh, well, Jesus.
I don't care.
Today is 12
Yeah.
hours.
It must be one. It must be. He's thinking narrowly. He's thinking narrowly. He's thinking narrow between the time of the evening to the morning, but he's speaking of 2 parts to the day, where you got the evening part, which is 12 hours, and then the morning part, the day part, which is 12 hours.
I'm done with that
So
question.
Jason,
jerk off all they want to.
Yeah.
Jason, what are we arguing here? What are we really arguing here?
Look at that hoodlum.
He believes in some sort of either
Listen,
old Earth
you're gonna tell me
creation
what
or
I believe
theistic
now, and I didn't even
evolution.
say anything about
I'm
it.
just thinking. I'm
Yeah,
just
you're gonna
thinking.
straw man me, aren't you, buddy?
Okay,
Yeah,
no, I'm
get the
just
straw.
guessing, all right? Guessing. I'm guessing. That's not straw manning when you say you're guessing.
Yeah, you
I'm
are
guessing.
full of shit. Don't tell me
But
that.
I'm guessing.
Well, is everybody
I'm guessing.
here?
I don't know. I'm not
He's
straw
giving
manning you and saying you are. I think you're either one, but it's only a guess. You might be, I don't know, some other weird thing. I don't know.
You know, seriously, straw man. I mean, come on. We're talking about 6 days of creation here, right? That's what we're talking about.
No, Jace, we're not talking about
24
6
Yeah,
days.
and the
I
news
asked
unit
one
is
question. You don't even know what I'm asking.
according to the news unit, it's like 3.5 because the day's only 12.
You people
12
don't even
hours.
know what I'm asking. You can't even listen. You're all
We got like
yakking
3
all
days
over
of
me.
creation.
I'm going to just come in
Can we
anyway.
start over? And you want me to repeat my question, Jace, so you know what I
Repeat your
asked?
question, Dave. Dave, repeat your question. Yeah.
Okay, here's my simple question. It has to do with day number 1. Do you understand what day number 1 is, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Where it says in the evening and the morning were the first day. And all I asked was, how long? Look at you. You just can't shut up, can you?
You got the evening
King
and the
James
morning
only
right,
guy.
so we're good.
Just let him speak. Let him finish his question.
It's a simple question.
Let him
Day
finish
number
his question.
1.
Just let him say it, then
You know what
we could
1
have
is?
we could pick it
It's
apart
not day
afterwards.
2. It's not day 3. It's not day 4. It's not day 5. It's not day 6. It's not day 7. It's day number 1. You got that now?
Well, news
And
unit,
the
can I
evening
try
and the
and
morning
steel
were
man
the
your
first
position?
day.
Can I try
How
and steel
long
man
was
your
the first day? I'll tell you how
think-
long it was.
Hey,
12
listen,
hours.
I want to hear the question. Just let him finish.
I think what he's trying to say is the evening was for the previous day and the first day started at the morning. Is that what you're saying?
He's not really saying anything, bro.
You can't even
No,
hear what
he's
I'm
not.
saying.
Hey, no.
Finish the question, Dave. Finish
The
the question.
evening was the
this. This is
night
like a
because the
dream.
Hebrews they split the day into
really
2
here?
parts.
We
The
all
Hebrews
get it.
split the
We all
day
get
into
it.
2 parts.
He hasn't finished his question. Let him finish.
All I'm asking is, when it says, and the evening and the morning were the first day, is that clear? Listen to this. And the evening and the morning were the first day. How long was that first day?
24 hours, 12 hours
Wrong.
evening,
I'd say
and
12 hours.
and
I would
12
debate
hours
you.
morning, day.
Ask
So you think there's
12
a
hours
sun in
night
the
and
sky?
12 hours day.
Ask us
You
why.
think there's a sun in the sky, don't you? You really
It said
believe-
evening and then morning, right? So
Is
in
there
the
a sun?
morning,
Is there a
unless
sun?
there's a
Hey.
sun, unless the sun
There's
comes
no
up in the
sun.
morning, then
You
there's
don't
no
know what
morning,
the hell
right?
you're talking about. He didn't even create the greater light to rule the day until day 4. You don't know how to read. You do not know how to
Okay,
read.
well, he said that, but
Oh, yeah. Oh, he is jungle jargon. I wonder what he's going to do.
Oh,
whatever.
use something else. I'm done.
whatever. But think about this: God is light. God is light too, and they always go on about how did the plants survive and how did this survive. I mean,
James, I'll
it's
show
like-
you sometime what I mean because
I know
these guys
what you
can't
mean,
listen.
man. I know
Yeah,
exactly
he's not
what
even
you
done.
mean.
He said he was
The
done. He's
20
not done.
Oh, dear.
He's not done.
He's not.
So there we
All
go.
right.
You just hot air, bro.
Dave, why do
Okay,
you bother?
fine. Whatever.
Dave, why do you even bother with these people? They're toxic to you.
Believe what you
You're
want.
supposed to be done. You said you were done, and all of a sudden you're not done.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'm done. All right, I'm done.
All right, the
Hey,
Genesis was
Mark.
written by Moses, and Moses was well aware of the 4th day, and that literally tells you what a day and night and a month and a year is. So Moses knew when he wrote that down. You didn't. That's the difference.
Wow, are you smart? I just learned something.
Of course,
Where'd
Moses
you learn
knew.
this from?
A Bavo camp.
That's right.
I went to.
I'm the
camp.
Hababo cult leader, and I got Kool-Aid for Numi tomorrow.
You're a
Angry
moron.
beavers.
Are you ready, Numi, to drink my Kool-Aid?
Hey, Mark, I've got a quick question for you.
No,
Mark.
Yeah, man, what's up?
Okay, so you're talking about isotopes, right? Now, the fact of the matter is, you know, from the perspective of observational science, no one can prove absolutely how young or old the Earth is, or the universe for that matter. There's
That's
only
right.
one dating. Okay, so there's only one dating method that is absolutely reliable,
The
and
Bible.
that is a witness who doesn't lie, and that is the God of the Bible.
Okay, well, I'm not sure that's the case. I haven't been convinced of that, but that they do factor in margins of error for radiometric dating because they can't get precise. But the inaccuracies are usually, in the single digit. So,
Hey, can I just tell you about did you know there's been a study that's been repeated, a scientific experiment's been repeated 5,000 times, and each time they repeat it, they got the same.
Oh, look. An American has got a cup. Amazing. Oh, please look at my cup. What a crane.
Results. And what happened is they put this large amount of electricity into this small amount of like microscopic amount of copper, and when this thing exploded, they got all the elements of the periodic table, right? All the elements of the periodic table, and even some that weren't even there, but the ones that weren't there died away within minutes and stuff. And what happened is that the elements that like lead and uranium and lead, they decayed down within like minutes or days to the same ratios that you find on Earth, and it's a thing called cold packing. So there's almost no heat that comes from it. I mean, they did this experiment all over the world in different labs, and they've done it 5,000 times. So they've proven right here on Earth that they can make all the elements of the periodic table, get them to go down to the same ratios that they find them on Earth today. And the way that they do it doesn't create very much heat at all, almost no heat. So I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so Mark, just to sort of answer you, there's literally hundreds of dating methods that are used to attempt to estimate the age of the Earth. Now, if you look into it, the vast majority of them do point to
oil companies and that in looking.
Carbon-14 only goes out to 50,000 years or so, so you're not going to be able to accurately measure the Earth with something like that.
Oh dear.
Well, the time we've got to look at time.
James, his tire has gone. What happened there?
We don't know what those isotopes were.
Yeah, you're
And a lot of this stuff was around at the beginning.
This guy knows his lead.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
So
Mark,
why is it that something as heavy as lead, like uranium, is still up in the...
So if you put down solid stone, if you put down solid stone and then put some lead on top of it, does it sink through the solid stone?
Oh, yeah, you like
No, but in the beginning, that the whole Earth was molten, and all that stuff was supposed to be there from the beginning. That's yeah.
Hey, Mark. We're talking about decay, right? Have you ever done a study on helium and radioactive rocks?
No, I've never personally done that study. No.
Okay, so that's just one rate of decay. And when helium diffuses, it actually supports an accelerated nuclear decay. So it actually speeds up over time. So which actually supports, that the Earth is actually young, that particular experiment.
Helium for measuring the age of the Earth. I don't think that's what they use. I think they use stuff like thorium and uranium and things like that.
Yeah,
Helium.
they do. They actually do. They actually, they actually work out the age of the Earth, which is estimated by its helium content. So they actually do, even through the Earth's atmosphere. The age of the Earth's atmosphere is also estimated by its helium content as well. So these are experiments that they do use. Yeah.
Not a lot of people.
I think they do atmosphere by helium, but I don't think they do the age of the Earth.
Yeah, they do. They do a helium diffusion rate that actually supports accelerated nuclear decay, which shows that the rate of decay is not constant.
Okay, well, can you get a paper on that?
Yeah, sure. I don't even know how to get hold of you. How do I get hold of you? Do you have a website or do you have a...
Yeah. I mean, I can shoot you my email address, but I really would like a paper on that. As far as I know, I mean, helium's the only helium that we have on Earth is produced by fusion in stars. So hydrogen atom.
I can send you something. I can send you something on it. But these are just examples. You've got the Earth's magnetic field as well. That is actually young, and that can be proven. So,
do you want to throw a link to it in the private chat, and I'll check it out?
I could do. Yep. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
It's just very difficult for me to do at the moment on my phone, but I'd love to talk to you some more on it for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Now it's my turn. Mark, how you doing, Mark?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
I got a question for you tonight.
Yeah, sure.
Are you single?
No, I'm married.
Oh, you're taken, eh?
Yeah, I'm married. I've been with her for 27 years now or so.
You're hot, man. All the ladies out there, he's taken. So everyone wants to know in the chat.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely have been married. She's loved my life.
Anyway, put a name to the face too, Mark.
Not according to Kevin.
Why? What's Kevin saying? What?
Kevin called you a shaved testicle.
Well, yeah. This isn't fighting to the lions if he caused any trouble.
I still
never said hello, mate.
Yo, Jay, it's good to see you, man. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm glad you came in here.
Been a while, man. Long time no see. Yeah.
It's refreshing. And how's XO doing? I know that he was kind of going through something there, but I hope he's all right.
Yeah, no, he's okay. He's all right.
He's recovering. Jason and XO are very close friends.
Good.
He's fine. But, just me is me, XO is XO. So as long as we get that straightened out, it's all good.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you, Jace, or anybody really, was sort of, so with the biblical literalist position, you sort of will believe the Bible over like, what kind of evidence would convince you that that's wrong, or is there no evidence whatsoever that anyone could possibly produce?
No.
Do you mean evidence that the word of God is wrong, or just evidence that there's no God, or what evidence are we talking about?
That up to you, because I mean, some Christians feel like, you know, say the earth is old. Just say we prove that the earth is old beyond any shadow of a doubt, then that defeats God. But other Christians don't think so. So I'll leave that judgment up to you. But would there be anything that convinces you that the 7-day that the earth is older than the 6,000 or 6 to 10,000 years I sometimes hear age of the Bible? Like, is there anything that would convince you that that isn't right?
No.
If you can find scientific evidence to support an old earth, and then you can show me in the Bible where it actually also supports an old earth, then obviously I would look at it. But I've yet to find it.
Oh yeah, I'd look at it. I'd look at it, whatever you give me, and not like the evolutionists say, "Oh, I'll look at it," and then don't look at it, and then say that it's just garbage without even reading it. I'd look at it, and you know. And
I would look at it from an unbiased point of view as well.
But the Bible would have to.
No, I'd look at it with a biased point of view, but I'd still look at it.
The information that you present. Like, if you can show me in the Bible, in Scripture, where it actually supports a scientific fact of an old earth, then I would look at it, yeah.
So what if the Bible's in conflict with scientific fact? Would you take the Bible under any circumstance over that scientific fact kind of thing?
Well, I've seen numerous scientific tracts. Okay. I have seen numerous scientific facts that actually support what the Bible actually says as well on certain matters, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm open to it, for sure.
No, that's interesting. No, I just wanted to ask that. That's cool. Not a problem.
So I'm an idealist. I don't even think it's possible for something to really be old because, you know, the observer, like, if the observer is fundamental, I just don't think there is such thing as time anyway. I think that's just a construct of mine. So I just, for me, it's almost impossible for something to be old. But it's just me, though. I'm an idealist.
But would you? So when you say like old, do you mean like? Are you talking millions of years, or are you talking like in the past? Because obviously you believe that some time has passed. You know, the biblical account had, you know, time passing kind of thing. Obviously, you believe that some time exists, right?
Well, I don't believe time is objective.